Yo, guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 171 of the Wrestling's podcast. Obviously, as you can see, we're at home. Make some noise, make some noise. As you can see, we're already at home. We're not even at home. I'm in the office, but the band are at home. Wasn't able to record the podcast on Wednesday due to timing and stuff, but we have to give it to you as normal on a Friday, which is the day we normally release anyway. So, yeah. Where do we start, man? And what, intros, or just go straight into it?
Go for your intros, man.
It doesn't even feel right, man. Yo, it's the full structure of North. You formerly known as VHS Pappy to my left. Sorry.
We have. What's up, people? My name is Max. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And you're tuning into another episode of the WRESTHINGS podcast. And last but not least,
you got the main event liver and champagne sipper, BFK all day. It's your boy Laps, my wrestling podcast. If you don't know what BFK is, it means you've not been paying attention to the podcast.
No, I love that, man. I think there's a lot to actually touch upon, man. There's been a change in directional story. Don Callis and Kenny Omega, as we saw yesterday, Wednesday. Backlash was absolutely epic. Word to Sam. And what else happened? Obviously, this Collision talk as well, AEW Collision talk.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I think we should talk about this thing that happened on Raw, the heavyweight tournament that happened with Seth Rollins getting through, beating Finn Balor. How do you man feel about that?
I'm happy about it because I think Seth Rollins should be the one to hold this title, and it makes sense for him to progress. You know, since we've always said that whoever's been beaten by Roman shouldn't hold that title. Only someone that's never been beaten by Roman should hold that title, and Seth Rollins is like the perfect candidate. So I'm happy with the result. I would have preferred Finn Balor to go through so that we can get a rerun of, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor for the Universal title. If you remember, if you know, you know. But, happy for Rollins. It makes sense for him to go through. What's your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, right choice, man. Obviously, do you know what it is? When I saw Cody Rhodes in there, I was like, shit, they want to get to Cody Rhodes, but Brock came in, saved the day. It's bad me saying it, but he actually saved the day. Finn Balor went through. It was nice seeing Finn Balor get through, but obviously Seth went over. But I think Seth is a great choice. I'm seeing a Seth and Edge final. That's what I'm looking at right now. Seth and Edge final. But we're gonna have to see today. We're gonna see what happens today. But Seth and Edge finals where I'm kind of edging towards, man. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. If it's not Edge, Edge and AJ Styles are in the same match, innit?
Yes.
I think it's one of them, Edge or AJ Styles that will beat Seth.
Even Rey Mysterio's there as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he ain't going. I don't think he's going. But yeah, I think Rollins or Edge, and because it's Saudi Arabia, they might want like the big old school draws. It might be Edge. It might be Edge. So yeah.
And I feel I've warmed up to the belt now. I feel like the belt it looks good. It looks good, man. Especially when they put at the front and at the entrance and stuff. So I'm kind of I'm loving it.
It feels important now, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? It felt important anyway. For me personally, just speaking. I was just waiting for what was going to happen with Cody in it, and obviously we saw what happened. Cody had to, Cody lost in that. So yeah, it's calm now. I think we're on a steady and narrow journey now. So yeah, man. But yeah, let's talk about the original Backlash that happened in Puerto Rico. Big up the Puerto Rico crowd. That was wow. Like I have no words.
Sick.
Even that was it. Shabbat. What's the name of that song again? The song that he was singing. Shabaya. Hiya. That's it really was epic. Great outing.
I felt like they made a pay-per-view that I didn't care about. Like I woke up on Sunday morning just like, oh, what's there to do? Pay-per-view last night. Let me watch it. And they made a pay-per-view I didn't care about. Yeah. They made me care. Like maybe about 5-10 minutes into maybe about 5 minutes into the Bianca Belair Io Sky match. I think to be fair, it was even when Io Sky when they were doing the announcing them, and Io Sky dropped down to do her splits, and the whole crowd roared when they said her name. Like, at first I was thinking that these are just some horny guys, bro. But I've clocked that. Nah, they're rating her like, and obviously they're booing Bianca, and I felt like I was watching Takeover. Like takeovers, like with a rabid crowds, and obviously these are two people that made their name in NXT anyway. Like, from that moment forward, I almost feel like the pay-per-view kind of died out towards the end.
Because
of Bloodline.
Yeah, I would have put the Bloodline mid-show and had the two main events back to back, but I would have put the Bad Bunny and Damien Priest at the end.
Made that the main event,
because fireworks needed to be going off for a good 5 minutes after that match. Honestly, it needed a pyro.
I mean, you know, sorry to cut you, Anafi. It feels like that pay-per-view was just built around Bad Bunny.
I think the match was. At
first, remember they said he was hosting it, and then he said, "I'm not hosting anymore because I'm competing." So it was kind of built around him, like.
So I think we should talk about that match actually.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
That was main event caliber. Like, Bad Bunny, he's gone clear as a wrestler. He's not just an entertainer now. He's a professional wrestler. I believe it. I can say it.
Do you know what it is? I'll say this,
Go on.
Credit to Bad Bunny putting on a great match with Damien Priest. Damien Priest, he's also the MVP.
100%.
I'm still saying that Logan Paul is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen from a celebrity thing. Like,
let's have this discussion. And before we do, big up everyone that's locked in. Big up Lincoln. Big up Afo. Big up our guy Mark Kingston. Big up Darren as well. You guys hit the like button if you haven't, right? Cool. The conversation all week has been who is better, Logan Paul or Bad Bunny. Big up West Coast podcast as well.
Big up.
Logan Paul or Bad Bunny. Now, what I've seen people saying is Logan Paul is obviously got the athletic side down completely. He's very believable, like in terms of being able to keep up with everything and do everything. But Bad Bunny is a better storyteller, which it sounds mad to say that for someone that's not a wrestler, is a bloody celebrity, the biggest music artist in the world right now, is a storyteller in the ring. Like, but you know what? After that match, I hear it.
Yeah, I
hear it because one, we know he's generally like a wrestling fan. Like he's watched a lot of this stuff. Like same way we grew up watching stuff, he's grew up watching this stuff. But it's literally the whole story that was told in that ring of the, being beaten around, selling a lot of the time for Damien. Then, when the tables turned, trying to get a one up on Damien. Even the little, I think twice where Damien was kind of begging, like, oh no, please leave him, man. He fell for it, the sympathy sort of thing. Like, is he better than Logan Paul as a wrestler in like total package, not just in ring stuff?
I think Logan Paul is clear. I'm not to obviously Bad Bunny is great. He's great. He put on a great performance and stuff, but Logan Paul is clear. I can trust him in any. Obviously, yes, we talk about what happened in the Royal Rumble when we had Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny and Logan Paul in the same Rumble, right? As well, weren't they?
No.
Oh, Logan
Paul he came into this year's Rumble.
This
Bad
one,
Bunny was still pandemic, I believe.
Yeah. So even down to that, when Bad Bunny was in that Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar, that surprised me a lot because man stood up to Brock Lesnar, and if you know who Brock Lesnar, like, he's a beast, bro. Like, the fact that he stood up to him was crazy. But Logan Paul is him. We saw what he had. We saw that match he had it with Seth Rollins. Saw the match he had against The Miz. I need to see Bad Bunny in another singles match for me to make my decision. But for now, Logan Paul is clear.
No, I hear that. You know what? I hear the argument. Like Logan Paul, he's a great athlete, but Bad Bunny, because when you compare him to Logan Paul, he's like the underdog. So Bad Bunny's gonna do the moves that you least expect it. Like when he carried Damian Priest and slammed him into the mat, the crowd went ballistic.
Michinoku drive.
Michinoku, yeah.
Small Bad Bunny carrying Damian Priest. Come on, bro. So he's gonna pull out the thing. He's gonna pull out things from the bag that you least expect. But I hear the argument. Logan Paul's great, but I feel like I just lean a bit towards Bad Bunny.
It clearly comes more naturally, the athletic stuff and the moves and stuff, to Logan Paul. You know, he is an athlete, so in whatever capacity he's done wrestling before, boxing and that. Like, I just think, you know what the thing is, because both men, they practice the hell out of their matches because they're just doing one-offs here and there, innit? So it's kind of hard to kind of pick one out in terms of who's like. Me too. Logan Paul is like, he has no right to be as good as he is. Like, I stick by what I said when I saw what was the match he had before Roman's match, or maybe no, it was Roman's match.
The Miz, or the Miz, right?
After Roman's match, the Roman's match was in Saudi or somewhere, wasn't that?
Saudi, yeah.
After Roman's match, I said, how can this guy be better than people?
I even forgot about that.
NXT and stuff like that. Like, that was the match that really showed me that, this guy is proper. Like, if he was to do this full time, and to be fair, even if he doesn't do it full time, I could see them putting a title on him.
Yeah. You know what, Flex? You know, just to argue that point, I don't think Logan Paul is better than the people in NXT. If we're talking about indie NXT, I don't think he's better. I think he just had the opportunity given to him. Because remember, they put him in certain positions and they choose not to put certain wrestlers from NXT in these of positions. So until we really see the best of both worlds, it's kind of hard to just say, Logan Paul's better than the rest.
You're right. And I don't want to sound disrespectful. And like I say, I know he's trained. It's like, you know, you're having this match in 2 months' time or 3 months' time. This is your opponent, and you can just spend the 2 to 3 months literally training for that one match. You ain't got to mix styles with many people and this, that, and the other. So I know it's hard to judge it, but like, his athleticism for this thing is silly.
Crazy.
Oh wait, crazy. I'm not trying to discredit this guy as well, but you have to remember, this guy's not wrestling week in and week out. 100. So he's always on 100% health.
I mean, both of them are not, but you know,
always on 100% health. So he's gonna be his overall's 100 right now.
Yeah.
So like I said, guys, he does one match every 3-4 months. Of course, he's gonna perform amazingly. If he didn't, then I'd be worried. But you know,
we need to see one more match from Bad Bunny. We need to see one more. That's gonna draw the line in this. Is it draw the line in the sand, as they say? It's still one more. We see one more from him. I don't know who next we could see Bad Bunny against, but
the only other thing I would say, which maybe obviously people have said Bad Bunny's the better wrestler with everything right now, apart from the athleticism. He did have a non-disqualification match, which is predominantly not wrestling. You can use tools, you can use whatever, and that's obviously for him masked his ability in the ring. Although he could obviously pull off a few moves, and we saw a few stuff from him, you know, this wasn't a singles match. Logan Paul has actually had a singles match, like, with no strings attached. So it's interesting. Let's see what somebody.
I feel like they're both yin and yang. They're Naruto and Sasuke. One can sell out in an arena, and one can put on a great performance.
But you know one thing we could probably all agree on. They're both better than Pat McAfee.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can say that now. I'm sorry. I can say that now.
I think Pat McAfee's okay, but Pat McAfee has like one move set. He does everything that jump to the turnbuckle. And...
The same. You know, I wasn't sitting next to you at Mania. I was sitting next to Del, and me and Del were literally saying his moves by moves. We'll say punch, jump on the road, backflip, land on his. We're literally saying it, calling out his what he was gonna do, and he did it.
He ain't got the storytelling of Bad Bunny, and he leans more to the athleticism, but he definitely ain't got the athleticism of Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just somewhere in between. But yeah, I mean, like we've been saying, there's a new breed of what celebrity wrestlers are gonna look like. Then these men are doing a decent job regardless.
Like, no, we can't discredit Pat McAfee a lot though, because when he wrestled the first time, we were like,
yeah, well, God.
Yeah, of course.
That was the beginning of seeing these celebs come and wrestle, innit? So
it became the standard.
Raised so high even since then, and that was what, like 2020, 2021 maybe. So
So as long as you're better than Pat, you're good.
Oh yeah,
That's it. Because he set the bar.
Yeah, that's true. West Coast Popcast says, as athletic and natural Logan is in the ring, he's not selling out or creating the atmosphere Bad Bunny is.
Yeah.
People don't like Logan Paul though.
Yeah, Bad Bunny is a nationwide, worldwide star. Global,
universal.
Yeah, global.
Mark says Logan Paul is cleaner in ring for sure.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm just gonna enjoy both of them and rejoice we ain't seeing David Arquette or Dennis Rodman style celebrities.
To be fair, Rodman was, for the time when he was in the ring, he wasn't that bad. Dennis Rodman could actually do a few moves. He was decent. No, I said for the time. If he came now, obviously that's mush, bro.
Rodman came in like what, 97,
98. Yeah, around that time, I'm guessing. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but he was decent. Like, he done what he could do.
W.
Yeah, and he had another match in Australia as well, which was it was quite sloppy, but he done what he could do, innit? You know what I mean? So credit to him.
I'm not a believer.
Darren, I think Bunny has that Oku type sell where he's taking a flogging and he's making you believe it. It's tough to do. Being in a street fight definitely helps that.
Yeah,
they protected him. West Coast Podcast. Bad Bunny bought a pay-per-view to Puerto Rico at his request, giving moments to Zelina, Damian, Savio Vega, Carlito, the whole LWO. Logan can't draw like that.
Yeah,
I agree that.
Like, it's very true. Logan.
So can we talk about?
Go ahead,
can we talk about those surprise appearances as well? Because I've got this new rule now. Whenever a pay-per-view like a AEW happens, it makes you saw yesterday. I run away from spoilers. So I didn't know that Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega till he messaged me. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know. But so I didn't see no spoilers for Backlash. Literally, since I woke up, I said my prayers, I had breakfast, and I watched Backlash. And when I saw Savio Vega appear, I was like, Then when I saw Carlito appear, I was like, I was like, yeah, they've really thought this through, man. It was great.
Having Carlito return, that I can't lie, I was popping for that. Because I didn't expect it. I haven't seen Carlito in years.
This is the thing. He returned that Royal
Rumble pandemic.
At the pandemic.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So Royal Rumble pandemic time doesn't count no more to me.
Like,
even the show in there was good though. It was nice.
Should have put that in the main event.
Yeah.
It should have been a main event. Like a match starring all the Puerto Rican wrestlers. Yeah, that should have been main event still. I understand they're still trying to shed light on the bloodline thing, but I feel like that's losing its heat right now. And just for this one pay-per-view, that Bad Bunny thing should have just been in the main event. Especially
like, if I've been
surprises.
If I'm being honest here, that Cody and Brock match wasn't really main event caliber. Like the way it ended, like, obviously I understand the way it ended. Had to end that way because as Cody, how was she going to defeat Brock? But the match itself was very underwhelming.
Yeah,
I'll say very underwhelming. I thought this was going to be like not Banga Bandidra, but at least a match would be like, wow, this is crazy. He's actually fought his way through.
Like the matches, like some of these matches Brock has had. Obviously, it's like there's two types of match. It's the 5-minute balls to the wall. Everyone just does their finishers, like spamming finishers, and then we just see who wins in 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah. Or it's the matches like he had with Balor, Rey Mysterio, Danielson, where it's like he's wrestling the smaller guy, and somehow they come through, and the smaller guy starts getting off their thing, and then Brock wins in the end. The match he had with Cody was like somewhere between the two of these, like, I don't know, like Cody's obviously a bit bigger than these other guys we're mentioning, but like, it just didn't really hit for me. And then when I saw the the roll up at the end, I'm just thinking, I hear it that you have to escape the beast, but at the same time, so many of Brock's recent matches have ended in some kind of nonsense like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't the Bobby Lashley match end like this?
yeah.
Do you know what'd been great? Do you know what'd been great, bro? If it ended in a way where it was like he's gone up for a German suplex, yeah, and he flipped him, but Cody's hung onto his neck, and he's done the Bret Hart pin. I would have been like, oh wow, that was crazy. But this one felt like, wait, is that a pin?
And you know when people like when they're in these kind of schoolboy these roll ups, it's like they create struggle that I can't get out.
Yeah, can't get out. Yeah.
It was literally just lying there,
just receiving it.
Cody got him, and then obviously Cody created the I got him by quickly running out the ring and done sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we've seen that they're gonna run it back at Night of Champions, but it's like now. Does Cody beat him definitively, or does Brock get his lick back? Like, how do they do this?
Brock's got to get his lick back. I can't lie.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. Because what does it do now? What is the story? Where do we go from here now? Why we do like the question now is like why are we doing this match again?
Bro, you need to remember WWE's formula. They're gonna do this 3 times. Cody's got the win. Brock's gonna get his lick back. And then there's going to have to be an overall winner. You understand?
What do you think? Cody versus Brock at Money in the Bank, London?
Most likely.
No, bro. Do you know Cody needs to focus, yeah? Cody needs to focus, bro. Get that Money in the Bank briefcase. You need to focus and finish that story. Because right about now, you're entering... you've gone back to... You've closed the book now. You're about to close the book, bro. You need to finish the story. Like, Roman is there. Roman's coming out tonight. And now Roman's going to now get a new challenger. God knows who it is, but bro, Cody needs to finish with the story, fam.
Oh, I need to read this tweet. Big up knowledge. He says Rodman could do a leapfrog and take an arm drag. Then he showed up drunk to his second match and fell asleep.
I remember
that. Which I can't remember if it was his first match or his second match. Remember one of them? He missed. Was it NBA or NBA training? He missed training.
It was the first match, I think so. They found out he was going to be on thing. Yeah.
And they just
was the first match.
See him on bloody TV.
Yeah, TV. Yeah, no, upset.
In another sport.
I swear he still played.
Yeah.
He came back and they still played him. Yeah.
Joke, man.
And it's Rodman, you know.
Yeah. NK says, big up NK says, Brock versus Cody is time wasting until finish the story. It's filler.
It is, man. Filler, man. Mad filler, bro.
But you know, WWE, they like to delay these things to like a big pay-per-view. I say SummerSlam, you may see Cody in the title picture.
But in order for him to get to SummerSlam, he needs to win the Money in the Bank. And I want Cody to do this. Like, even, Mandem, yes, have this discussion now. Maybe I'm being like a fake fan or whatever, yeah. But the Bloodline story is done. I think it's done.
No, you're seeing cracks in it because if you look at what happened at Backlash with Solo Sikoa about to take off his brother's neck.
I think that's a spin-off, bro. I can't lie. That's a spin-off. The Bloodline itself, as in the Bloodline story, as in the Sami Zayn and the blah, 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 blah thing is done. Obviously, we're going to get this whole beef between the Bloodline Civil War is what we're having now, which is a different story. That's a different sort of chapter. But the actual Bloodline, done.
You're right. It's a different chapter, but still the same book. The difference is Solo Sikoa is about to be the main man in this one still. Roman's got to fight for Solo's loyalty, and the Usos are going to have to fight for Solo's loyalty. He's going to have to pick one or the other.
So yeah, this is I'm of this exact same opinion. The problem is, you know, the whole thing they were telling going into WrestleMania is we need to solve this problem of the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens problem, right? They got to WrestleMania, they won the titles from the Usos, right? Now, then you had the Usos still kind of chasing these guys. Like at that point, their man should have went off, you know, to their own island. Now we could probably blame the brand split wasn't active then, because now it's like, okay, although we want them to go off to their own island, they actually still work on the same show, so they can't not avoid each other. See what I mean? Even all now, we don't know what they're doing with the tag team championships only being on one show. Anyway, that's a story for another day. What they needed to do was get straight from WrestleMania into, you man have lost your titles now. It's long for you lot and the bloodline. And then the next chapter, as we're saying, is it's just solely the bloodline, the Civil War.
Thank you.
What side is Solo picking, this, that, and the other? Instead, we've had another
3 more matches,
2 months, another 2 months at this point, 6 weeks of Sammy and KO versus the Usos, with the inclusion of Riddle here and there, who has added absolutely nothing story, apart from made it even more annoying that we're still getting this. Now the brand split has happened. I'm hoping, and obviously the Usos, that's the other thing. They teased the fact that Roman, Solo, and Paul Heyman were drafted to SmackDown. Oh, the Usos haven't been drafted with the bloodline or whatever. If you remember last year or whenever they done the last draft, Paul Heyman was like frantically negotiating to get the Usos to SmackDown as well. So the fact that when they were announced, Paul Heyman, I remember he was praying and like saying thank you God and stuff. Now they teased that the Usos aren't going to come because the Usos didn't win the tag team championships on SmackDown the other day. The Usos have still ended up on SmackDown. So I'm expecting tonight. Roman is back tonight. They need to address this from day dot now, because how can all of these lot live together? Roman is not happy with them for not bringing the titles back, for losing the titles in the first place, and now they've ended up on SmackDown in his face anyway. Like, we have to go straight into these man hating each other, these man rocking. If Solo's gonna punch up Jay, then Solo needs to punch up Jay. If Jay's then gonna, defer off bloodline and eventually go for Roman's head, whether he wins or loses, we need to start getting there, innit? Because this is lasting too long. I know they're probably longing this out. We got 1,000 days, Roman, I think end of this month or whatever the case is with the title. Like, we need to start moving things along because it is still one of the best stories they've done. This is not the first time they've lost their way within this story either. So let's not pretend like it is.
Yeah, it could come back. It could come back.
Before the Sami Zayn stuff started picking it up again. You see what I mean? So like they just need to get back on track and get back on track quickly. That's it.
Yeah. Do you know? I can compare it to Saw. You watched the whole Saw. I call it anthology. Is it even a trilogy? Like you lose it. It loses you a couple of times, but then it brings you back. I was like, oh wow, shit. So it's that. It's basically that. So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but for now,
no, you're right. You're right to feel how it feels because I feel the same way. The fact that Roman has been off TV for about five weeks as well
doesn't help. It doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
Last time we saw him was when he ran away from Brock when Brock was in the ring, right?
Yeah, that was the Monday night that we watched.
Watched in LA. Yeah.
Lincoln says here, it's lost its wheels, but I'm gonna wait till what Roman has to say tonight. Yeah. NK says, wrap it up. The film is long. Make a new film. Mark says, Roman and Solo versus the Usos over Jay versus Solo over Jay versus Roman. Darren agrees with that and says, I do still need a Jay and Roman to run it back.
That should be the final match. That should be the final. That should be. Do you know what's it called? What can I say? Do you know Avengers when they got rid of Thanos? This should be the final thing. If Jay wins, the whole of WWE need to come out and lift this guy up. Honestly,
at the same time, I think we need to start seeing the demise of Bloodline and Roman before then. By the time I want Jay to beat Roman, it's not for a championship. Like it's just a moral victory. Like you tortured man for 4 years at this point. Like I've got my W now. Like of course he ain't gonna be champion. So get the title onto whoever the next person is. Maybe Jay costs Roman because they need to protect Roman when he for that anyway. Maybe, but yeah. They need to have Jay versus Roman. That is the final sentence in the book.
That's the final, bro. The end, bro.
Yeah. What else we got here? NK says they need to do a sharp cutoff and start a new saga. Still keep the story, but they should put a pin in this section and start something fresh. That's what
I think they're getting at tonight. Yeah, I think we're gonna get it tonight.
That's what we're hoping for tonight.
Yeah.
This stuff they've put in the middle that's just not been good with Riddle, especially.
Man said we're basically getting filler content.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, yeah. They wanted to reintroduce Riddle into something, and it made sense because obviously Solo took out Riddle. Was the last person to see him, but it hasn't been good for him coming back. Athol says the film isn't long enough. Keep it going. Roman is champ until WrestleMania. Boy.
The thing is, would I be upset if Roman still champ till Philly? No, but it depends on how it's done. Ideally, I need Cody to finish that. I need Cody to come back and win it. At this moment here, like also adding on to that, I don't care if The Rock comes back and wins the title anyway as well. But Cody needs to finish the story somewhere, and I think SummerSlam is a good end point for it to just done. We've got how many? When's SummerSlam? August. So we've got how many months? So that's June, July, August. That's 3 months.
4 months, yeah.
4 months. 4 months until we see the end of this bloodline story. Not end, but potentially the end of Roman Reigns thing. And I think that's a great enough time. I think that's a good time. If I wake up and I see that Cody Rhodes is not in this Money in the Bank or he's nowhere near this title by August, Cody Rhodes needs to step into Triple H's office still. I can't lie.
So this is the other thing. I would prefer Cody wins Money in the Bank and does like the whole I will cash this in at WrestleMania next year against Roman Reigns. You know,
okay, I'm with that.
Heyman, go through Paul Heyman. I will not like make a deal. Like I'm not gonna run onto SmackDown and cash it in now on any day. I'm brokering the deal to cash this in on whatever the date is in Philadelphia against Roman Reigns in the main event, and I will not touch and see Roman Reigns until then.
So then, great.
And you can do something, you know, some kind of smart story where they avoid each other and tell a story somehow. Like, I'm actually very against Cody winning the Rumble. I don't want Cody wins the Rumble again.
It's dumb. Still.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Personally, this may be controversial, but it's just my opinion. If you don't like it, you can come and buck me, but I'm sure you wouldn't. I don't think Cody Rhodes should win the Money in the Bank. I think he should win like a number one contenders match for the WWE title at SummerSlam and have someone else win the Money in the Bank. So there's another opportunity there. So there's a backup policy. In case things don't really work out with Cody, you've got that backup there. Think of it like Seth Rollins with Money in the Bank. You know, you took Roman Reigns to the main event, but then you had Rollins as the emergency policy. Insurance policy. Do you understand? So, like, you can still put Cody in the title picture. I just feel like he doesn't need to have a Money in the Bank.
That's correct. That is correct. But why I said Money in the Bank is to, and I know WWE rarely care about this anyway, but let's see if you have an idea to get around this. It's because of the brand split. How do we get a number one contender on Raw that Cody wins and he ends up on SmackDown challenging for Roman's belt?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I too think that I want to see Cody in a Money in the Bank match for sure. I only think that match should be full of people that I honestly believe can be the next world champion. But at the same time, I don't know how they're gonna finesse Cody winning a number one contendership and then finding Roman on another show.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I don't know why they didn't just draft him to SmackDown. Like,
Raw would be weak. Let's be honest. Raw would be weak without Cody.
Yeah, they needed Cody there still.
That's why. But that's why I'm thinking they need to find. There's only two finesses that they could use, and it's the Royal Rumble and it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if we're saying Money in the Bank should be used for like a longer story to create another star, whatever the case is, rightly said, then we're looking at Cody winning the Royal Rumble again.
And also put this there, yeah. If Cody were to go for another number one contender, yeah, that's also just gonna be long for him because it's like the people that's gonna be in that number one contender match are gonna be people that, like, for example, like a Gunther, a Bobby Lashley, who else is there? Karrion Kross even.
Yeah.
Like people that are like, wow, no, Cody can't come out of this. And if Cody does win, it's gonna be like, oh, come on, man. But for Money in the Bank, it's like, wow, okay, cool. This guy's gonna hold a briefcase here for longer than how many months, and it's gonna hold, like, it's gonna become part of his personality. That's one thing I'm also looking forward to as well.
I get it. But do you know, I feel so against, you know, someone like Cody Rhodes winning the Money in the Bank because it feels too obvious. Like, you've just won the Royal Rumble, now you've gone to win the Money in the Bank. then you're gonna main event WrestleMania. Basically, the whole point of Money in the Bank is let someone totally unexpected win this thing. This is the opportunity to make a new character. Do you guys get what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I still think the Money in the Bank entrance should be people that we believe as fans could be the next world champion. Like, for instance, obviously, there's a lot of talk right now that LA Knight is who they're looking at to win the Money in the Bank. Now, as great as I think LA Knight is, as great as he will be with a Money in the Bank briefcase as well, like just for TV purposes, do you see LA Knight as the next WWE world champion?
Nope.
So I wouldn't put him in a Money in the Bank.
Be in the match.
Who should be in the match?
No, so he shouldn't be in the match.
No, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't be in the match. So I want to see the likes of a Gunther in there, and McIntyre and all of these kind of people. And yes, some of them have kind of ascended to the mountain before, but these are the only people that I truly believe that could actually cash in and win. Not to say they will, but especially because over the last few years, they've just done so much mess up with this Money in the Bank. They need to restore it to some type of former glory. Like, make us really believe, look at the field for this Money in the Bank. Any one of these men could win the ladder match to start off with, and then can actually cash in and become a champion. If it's someone like LA Knight, like I say, as entertaining as LA Knight would be with that briefcase for 4, 5, 6 months, I'm just thinking, you're not gonna win. When you go to cash it in, you're gonna lose it.
It's long.
Making bad investments, not cashing in when the dip, not cashing in at the dip. You see Edge, the ultimate opportunist. He cashed in at the dip when Cena was beaten in that elimination chamber. He cashed in. No one's following his playbook.
Also added to that,
Can you see? Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Could you see, like, let's say Roman has just had a flipping like a War Games match, absolute slobber knocker match. He's tired or whatever the case is, and then all of a sudden, LA Knight runs in with his briefcase. Ref, take. Ref's like, what do I do with this thing? As they always do. He effectively cashes it in, and LA Knight pins Roman, because remember, they're on the same show.
That's not believable to me, because I'm not sold on LA Knight. I'm not sold on him.
To be fair, I'm sold on him as a character and stuff like that. And like I said, he'll be so funny with that briefcase. But boy, I can't see him becoming world champion with the current field looking at how it does. Like,
not to be deep, I'll be fuming. Not like I'll be fuming if LA Knight wins it. Not to be deep, obviously, because I feel like LA Knight is great. He's good, but for him as a world, Cody, I'm burning for Cody. I'm burning for Cody still. That's not fair.
I said that's not fair.
It's not fair, bro. I'll play it. But if Cody were to win it, if Cody were to cash in and have the title, and he cashed in on the thing where Roman's groggy, bro, I'll be livid. Oh my days. If they spun it like that, bro, I'll be livid. Imagine Roman on the floor, and Cody Rhodes runs in and pins him like that. I mean, what's the point? But I know WWE won't do that.
Yeah, it's very crazy, and obviously with how they're doing these, we'll see. Obviously, we're not even too far from Money in the Bank. It's about a month away now. It's in London, so we'll kind of see what the field is like when they're doing that. But boy, I think there's only one or two ways we're getting Cody back to Roman, and it's Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But right now, like we're saying, all this other stuff Cody's doing right now is filler. So but AEW.
Before we go to AEW quickly, Meg, she posted a video of Bianca Belair during her time at NXT. She's playing an awesome heel. I'm sorry, Bianca Belair has literally done everything. Okay. Actually, she has. I'm gonna say it to my chest. She's done everything under the sun which a face is meant to do in WWE. She smashed it. She's done everything. I think it's time for her to turn into a heel. I think it's time for people to hate her because she was great in NXT as a heel.
Yeah. She's proven, obviously, she works on main roster as a face, right? What I'm just waiting to see is obviously Triple H had her in the palm of his hand in NXT. He was the person that made her the nearly woman that never won the title in NXT. always lost. Shayna Baszler always flogged her. Like, and Triple H obviously had that character, that the undefeated, the EST of NXT, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just thinking, like, although he may want to, she's too much of an ambassador for the company at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a John Cena syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah. Bianca Belair is everywhere right now. Everywhere. She got a whole TV show coming up soon on Hulu with her husband. Like, I just don't feel like, unfortunately, I feel they've missed the boat. At the same time, I do think there needs to be character changes.
Yeah,
I feel like, if you remember before the WrestleMania where she beat Becky for the championship,
there
was a saga where she cut Becky's hair, or Becky was threatening to cut her ponytail because it's a weapon.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, and I know how people feel about their hair, but they should have cut her hair. They should have cut the ponytail, and at least that will be a bit of a character change. Like, she could have won at WrestleMania, and then at WrestleMania, Becky blindsides her and cuts her ponytail. With the heat. Like, make the ponytail at least make her kind of, I don't know, just have an extra edge on her character. Like, now, no edge, bro.
Basically, what you're saying is she should get Samsung, cut off her ponytail, so she loses strength.
It's true. Like, I feel like something definitely needs to change in it, and I think the only way you can do it is ponytail. Or if she loses the title, or she becomes a thing where she's vexed at the whole world. But like you said, ambassador, she needs to protect that sort of thing, innit? We need an angry Bianca.
It's literally like, I'm the EST of WWE. I'm the strongest, the toughest, the roughest, the baddest, the this and that. And they're like, bro, like, we've heard it all before. Like, even so much that from what she's saying, this is actually like an arrogant trait. They could easily just turn her to a tweener at least. Like, I'm beating everyone. Like, who's next? Bring out the next person. Like, and then eventually do something that confirms she's a heel. Like, oh, I'm walking into, I don't know, Jacksonville. And I'm just like, oh, bring me Jacksonville's finest. Like, it's some dinner or something like that. She beats up some local competitor. Like, and just like, the crowd are naturally turning. And again, to be honest, we don't even know who's in charge and running this ship right now. But like, just go with it. Like, if you see that she's getting crowds and people aren't too happy with her, like it don't have to be a drastic, I'm a heel, but let her lean into the arrogance that she believes her own hype and all of that kind of stuff. The Io Sky cheering over her, it shocked her. It truly, you can see it on her face, innit? Like, she's not using that.
It low-key feels like she's starting to suffer from the Roman Reigns syndrome from back in the day. The WWE pushes her as a face, but the crowd wants her as a heel. They see her as a heel, similar to how Roman Reigns was back in the day.
I think the crowd in Roman Reigns' time was just against him being pushed, like, you're doing too much with this guy, innit? We liked him when he was in the Shield. Now you're basically telling us this is going to be the next guy, rather than us as a fan base christening who we want as our next top guy. With Bianca, people still like her, innit? It's just like, even those that like her just want to see something different at this point, innit? So, yeah, man, we need to switch it up.
I hear it.
Yeah. Should we go to AEW then?
Yeah,
man. Bruv. So you've seen that cage match now, yeah?
Bro,
yesterday, you hadn't seen it yet.
I watched it in the evening, innit, before I go to bed, There was moments in the match where I was like, bro, Kenny needs to be careful, man. The V-trigger into the cage, I was like, God damn. But even, it was great. The cage match itself was great. A lot of violence, and this is what we expected. You could clearly tell that these men actually hate each other. Obviously, in wrestling, they hate each other. The stuff that they were doing, like, it was crazy. And then the plot twist with Don Callis coming into the ring and shanking man in the head, bro. That was He looks like he's coming across as like he's a maniac. Like, even when he done it, it was like he looked crazy.
It was literally like TV villain, like cartoon villain.
Yeah,
in the head. And he looked at the crowd. It was like, oh
my god, what should I do? Oh my gosh. And it's the fact that he didn't actually. There was no full interaction with him and John Moxley. So that lets you know that he's not doing it for Blackpool Combat Club. There's another person involved in this who I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon, and he's on the phone and that sort of stuff. I hope it's so who I think it is though. But
Who do you think it is?
Osprey, fam.
Billy Gold.
I think it's Osprey or actually no. That's stupid, man. Actually, can I say it?
Say it.
Can I say it? Takeshita?
Takeshita?
Bring Takeshita against Omega. I don't know how it's gonna work, but there was that whole thing of them going on dates together, him getting closer with each other,
he was trying to like court Takeshita.
Caught him, yeah.
Join under his management or whatever the case is. Like me and NK spoke about this last night on Revolution Radio. I thought the minute I saw Don Callis bleed when they accidentally busted him open a couple of weeks ago, and then the following week Takeshita bled, I thought they're gonna join the BCC. The BCC motto is if we bleed with you, then you join us, whatever the case. Yeah. Now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure they're actually joining the BCC. Like I was saying to NK yesterday, I think this is more of because Danielson has been saying his whole MO is the elite are good, but they're not living to their potential. We want to bring the best out of them. That's the whole BCC's motto, sort of thing. We want to improve people. And at the same time, Callis has always been, I want to improve Kenny. I want Kenny to be the god of professional wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So I almost feel like Callis is like turning his own back on Kenny. So let Kenny think like you can't trust anyone, sort of thing. You just have to pay attention and do your thing, sort of thing. It might be too early to tell. The Osprey thing is 100% there. Like his bio says, the King of Winnipeg, bruv. Literally says, bruv. And
it says, bruv.
Yes, his Don Callis. Go look at it. Don Callis' bio says, the King of Winnipeg, bruv.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's Osprey.
Wait. Is it actually Don Callis though? On Twitter,
yeah.
It actually says, bruv.
It says some other stuff in it. And then it says the King. Yeah, the King of Winnipeg, bruv.
That's crazy.
We know who says, bruv.
The invisible hand. Oh shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
So this could be a way to kind of start lining up, whether it's the Forbidden Door, in a month or so, or All In London. This is definitely gonna give that some steam. Yeah, and he's been quoting Osprey as well. He's been saying Osprey's brilliant, Osprey's great over the past few months and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is a great way to line up Forbidden Door. Now we're all invested, Yeah. Whenever a Judas moment happens in wrestling, it's always a big thing. Don Callis turning on Kenny Omega, then you find out who he's working with. Like, always leads up to something massive. So this is
the thing. Even the fact, like, even with Kenny Omega being a babyface, and Don Callis was like his heel manager as a babyface. It's like now you've turned further on the one guy that you held in such high regard. It's going to be interesting to see if Takeshita joins Callis now that he sees Callis' true colors. If he'll actually join Callis on whatever crusade he's on.
I think Takeshita should, and I think Takeshita should be a thing when he joins it. He's like the assassin, like the solo. He just bangs, man, finish, man, done. You know what I mean? He should come on that sort of vibe, innit? But
you might be right enough, because when the Elite were getting beaten up the other day,
he could have Takeshita.
He went to draw for the contest.
He drew for the
Oh, for drew for.
He had the steel chair. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna get something better."
Yeah. But then again, this does throw me off because I thought for Blood and Guts we'll get Elite versus the BCC, but I don't know if that's still going to happen anymore because obviously Don Callis is. We're not entering, as we say, this is a new chapter in a different story. So I don't know if they're going to still go back to that, but this beef is now gone from John Moxley to Don Callis and his mystery man, innit? So,
yeah. Well, we're not out the woods with this story yet. I guess with Double or Nothing round the corner, we're probably looking at an Anarchy in the Arena match between BCC and the Elite. which will be great. It's
that'd be great.
It's just a matter of who's going to make up the sides now. How many men are they having in each team? BCC is what? Danielson, Utah,
4 man, innit?
Claudio, and Moxley. They could add the 5th in Takeshita.
I think Takeshita should stay away from it. I think Takeshita should literally be Don Callis's shooter, so a right hand. Unless Don Callis revealed himself as cool, Bonnet, we're going to be part of BCC, but we're calling in John Will Ospreay to come and lead the pack. I don't know, to come and join the team. But I don't know. It seemed like there was no sort of like connection with John Moxley and Don Callis on the day. But you never know how these things run.
Yeah, Moxley sold it like he didn't know what was going on. Danielson sold it like he was hella surprised.
He was mad surprised. He was even laughing, bro.
He was laughing, yeah, but he was selling shock, innit?
So yeah, these lot don't know what's going on. So there's a third option that's happening right now. There's a third man in the picture that's in the shadows.
Who is who?
Ospreay still.
I knew, bro. It's Ospreay, fam. It's Ospreay. I knew it's gonna be a man.
I mean, we're yet to see Hangman to come and rejoin the Elite.
Yeah,
sure, that's happening within this story.
Man, like a Bushi.
Bushi's another one that his name is hanging over this.
I think they should keep. I can't lie. They should keep Ibushi until All In. I can't lie. Keep Ibushi until All In. Give him the the grandioso entrance. You see it. We saw him at Bloodsport. Give us the Wembley Arena. Pop. So yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, man, Double or Nothing's looking nice. What's your thoughts on the 4 Pillars match, the main event for the title? It was great. I think it's shaping up to be great. The vignettes they were playing throughout the whole of Dynamite was good as well. With Sammy Guevara's story, Jungle Boy story. Jungle Boy story, MJ story. Like, it was just nice having that whole thing in it. I'm looking at it as MJF is going to retain. I don't know why. It's not like I don't have faith in the Mandem of the guys in the ring, but I feel like MJF is going to retain. This is just it's going to be a great match regardless, isn't it? So, yeah. I'm not really invested. Okay, I'll be real with you. I'm not really invested.
I was just about to ask Laps, are you invested in?
I'm not really invested in it too tough, but it's going to be good.
Bro, why would I be invested into that when there's gang wars going on right now?
There's gang
wars. That's true.
Bro, this isn't the main thing for me in AEW right now.
No, I hear
it, man.
And I think because we know MJF is going to retain, it's clear. But I think it's been a good build. I think it's been, relatively interested. I think we have to remember that the majority, like these men, they're all young guys in it, thrusted into the main event picture, and we're basically seeing if they can sink or swim. So apart from MJF, that looks super comfortable doing this kind of thing, the rest of them are just almost finding their feet as they do it. So give them some grace in it, but it's not. It once maybe about 4 weeks ago looked like, this was really interesting the way they're building it and going into Double or Nothing. But BCC and Elite has jumped.
It's taken over.
Over it,
and they've taken over. Like, it's been, bro. Can you hear that music, bro? Can you hear it?
Yeah,
the music.
Yeah,
bro. I swear they've turned it up, bro. It's like it's vibrating my feet, but yeah. They've really taken over, man. The stories. I've been waiting for Kenny to get in a single sort of like story or single sort of like thing for ever since he's come back. And this is it. They've given it to us, and I'm invested, man. So yeah, man. Either way, I know that match is gonna be sick. It's gonna be banger bandizzy all over. So yeah, that's one thing we can expect in it. So
yeah, I think West Coast Popcast says here, low key, I think the 4 Pillars might mess around and steal the show. Best case scenario, this should be AEW's Unbreakable Classic that TNA had with Styles, Joe, and Daniels. Yeah,
it could be that. It could be that.
I hear
it
that.
Could be that.
Definitely potential for that, and they know they're gonna have their work cut out if they're gonna have an Anarchy in the Arena match happening before that, with because people love the madness of that match. So
yeah,
they're definitely gonna have to really outdo themselves if they want to compete for match of the night. Yeah, man. We saw a couple of this. Go on.
I was gonna say, what were you gonna say before? I was gonna just do
I think it's one of the same that we're talking about. I was saying we saw a couple returns on Dynamite.
Yes,
Miro,
yes.
Thunder Rosa, they've re-emerged, and they're kind of teasing it. We were saying again last night on Revolution Radio that isn't it kind of cool the way they're embedding into the storyline the whole fact they're getting a new TV deal.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'll say credit to Tony Khan there for that. Even the fact that it's like, even Thunder Rosa appeared, I was like, raw. Obviously, as spoilers as well, I had to go and find a picture of Don Callis, and as I've searched it up, I see a picture of Mira, and I was like, oh, flip's sake. But when I saw Thunder Rosa, I was like, oh shit, that's a surprise. I wasn't expecting her, but it was just nice. Even the way there was like, I need to talk to Tony, and they just opened the door, and Renee Paquette, she's outside, she's just smiling. She's like, okay, cool, what's happening there? It's great, man. They credit to them not in it. So yeah, man, I think the show's gonna be good.
I need to talk to Papi Khan.
Papi Khan, yeah, that's what she said. Papi Khan, fam. I feel like this Collision show is gonna be great though.
Yeah,
I mean, either way, for us living here, you know, it's easy, it's calm, innit? Like I said when they first announced it, Saturday night wrestling in the US traditionally hasn't been like a popular thing. But I guess, especially with the sounds of what the deal is, and if anyone wants to know what that deal is potentially going to look like, because some change might happen before it's announced, we were joined by Knowledge last night on Revolution Radio, who broke it down in the first kind of 10-15 minutes of the show. So if you want to check that out, you can do. But it's like a whole streaming service and stuff. He reckons by about All In, which is what, August?
Yeah.
It's basically they've got their own network now, like WWE network, like Peacock.
Okay, that makes sense.
There won't be any kind of pay-per-views and all of that kind of stuff, which at the same time would make me think that could eliminate the need for pay-per-views only having to happen in the US. Because now, that's the reason All In isn't like a pay-per-view, because of time differences and selling a pay-per-view at whatever the time would be. It's one of the reasons. So if they are getting their own kind of streaming service, they can kind of maybe even look at this global localization thing that WWE is doing. Stadium shows all around the world, because of, you know, there's no worrying about how it's going to broadcast back home.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point. Even the fact, because like even with this All In stuff, I like overheard the conversation yesterday, and they're saying that how they're going to even upload old pay-per-views as well, and old AEWs as well, which I feel like is a good touch as well. Like, there's a lot of stuff a lot of people missed out on, and it'll be good to even go back on and watch. So even like the fact that even, bro, do you know, I don't remember how Daniel Garcia debuted. Do you remember?
I don't remember necessarily how he debuted, but I remember obviously he was doing a lot of stuff with the 2.0 guys at the time.
Yes. One. Is that because he was in NXT? That's because he was in NXT before coming. Do you remember that he had a stint at NXT?
Daniel Garcia, he done some stuff on 205 Live and that. So yeah, I mean that might be a reason, because he knew them or whatever the case is. But they were kind of paired together originally, and I thought, okay, cool. He was obviously still the shining star then anyway. And he still is a bloody shining star. Daniel Garcia is brilliant, but this show is gonna be interesting to see how they divvy up. 1 minute they're saying they're doing brand split, next minute they're not doing brand split. It would be interesting to see with how they're gonna manage this roster of who wants to work with CM Punk and who doesn't. Apparently, Jericho and CM Punk were meant to work together as CM Punk's first return program, and CM Punk's rejected Jericho.
CM Punk himself rejected Jericho.
Yeah, apparently he doesn't want to work.
That's hilarious. That is who pulled that? Meltzer.
I've seen a couple places reported today.
That's funny.
I don't know where the
CM Punk himself. That's hilarious. That's something to laugh about.
We'll see. And apparently he's been bigging up. It's Samoa Joe. I think he said like he'd rather work with him or something like that.
I mean,
Give
Do
us
you
the
want to
gutter,
see
man.
Joe versus CM Punk 20 years later?
Say that again.
Like, it'll be 20 years since we've seen Joe versus CM Punk. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Give us, put us straight in the gutter, man. I'm sorry to say, bro. I'm here for chaos, man. Give us flipping. I don't know if they want to give a complete swerve. Yeah, if Don Callis wants to do a complete swerve, yeah, a complete swerve, he best want to throw into a Chicago to flipping CM Punk, bro. That's a complete swerve. Imagine if his Punk that he was on the phone to and he was like, "Yo, I need you here." Imagine. And this whole thing, and obviously we're getting all access, yeah. This whole thing ties into the whole, bro. Imagine this is all. Obviously, I know there was legal, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. This is all documented. Imagine it was Punk on the phone to you.
Enough, I've clocked it. I just deeps what you're saying. Imagine if it's Punk.
Imagine if it was Punk he's on the phone to you, bro. That everyone's head will be blown. Obviously, people will disagree in the comments. People will be like, "Yeah, nah, we don't want to see Punk." But if that is what is they're gonna give us, then boy, that is a flipping, bro. And bro, that's gonna give me goosebumps. I'm getting chills right now if you're speaking about it.
I mean, it's frying if that happens, bro.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Everyone, like, we've been saying that, you know, we've had mixed reviews. That's the truth. 1 minute we want to see Punk back, where we're ready to kind of take him back in as long as he's going to be on best behavior, as long as he's going to say sorry to Mandem or whatever the case is. Next minute he does something else and we're just like, we're done with this guy. But the constant is that we still know Punk versus Omega is on the table and hasn't happened yet. And boy, that would be a way to bring him back in. I mean, they're saying that he's going to debut on this. He's the second coming. I heard they were calling it when he debuts on Collision. When Collision starts middle of June, they're calling the show the second coming. I can't remember what they called when he debuted on Rampage.
The first dance.
The first dance.
First dance. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're calling this one the second coming. They're probably going to give him a live mic, give him 20 minutes to do a promo.
100%.
Like in the, you know what? Before he even says "Pim," that first word comes out of his mouth. Play Omega's music,
please. Run it, bro.
He said the first word, and let's let the whole arena explode.
Yeah,
these men just into the ring against each other.
You know what? I think my thoughts on this third brand, madness needs to happen. I don't want it to be too well structured. Just bring bare man. Just let it be chaotic. Something like, you know, Omega and Punk, you know, having a face off in a ring. I don't need it to be like too organized. Just, I don't know how to describe this. Just it needs to be managed.
You know what? Just on that, what you were just saying, Laps. I did see some people having a conversation on Twitter yesterday or today, saying that Collision should be different.
Yeah.
Different show altogether in terms of. Okay, still gonna be like Mandem, not like a a woman specific show or something like that, or like a cruiserweight show, but like
presentation, right? The presentation
or something. Like it just needs to feel like different. So even if you're saying it needs to be very chaotic, like maybe it's like I guess AEW is not a PG show now, but you see what I mean? Just some type of difference, to really up the ante. So you know they've got a hard slot. Like a Saturday night, another 2 hours is good for business anyway, but at the same time, they're gonna have to do something to get people to be watching that show. And I don't know if CM Punk is going to be enough for everyone.
I think
it'll be enough.
I just hope that Tony Khan listens to this. I know he listens to the fans and stuff. So if that's one idea you want to go down there, I'm open to that, boy. So
Tony Khan, he listens to us. He knows us, man. He knows us.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, AEW are doing terrifically well. In this short time, they've got another TV show, and you know, getting more and more hours thrown at them. To be honest, I know a lot of people at the beginning were like, "Oh yeah, 2 hours is fine. We don't need any more TV. Oversaturation, blah blah blah." That was coming
now.
I mean, I'm not so much hearing the talk of it now. That was coming from like the quote unquote diehards that, you know, 2 hours of TV from AEW every week was fine just have a roster that's big enough or small enough to service that and nothing else. But now we got Rampage. Now we got 2 hours of Collision. They've got rid of Dark and Elevation as well from YouTube. Are you guys at the point of this is oversaturation? Is it too much, or are you happy? You're good?
No, I'm happy.
No.
I'm good. This is an oversaturation for AEW specifically. In terms of wrestling as a whole, yes,
It's
saturation. But AEW is a new product, and within that AEW world, this is something new. It's far from oversaturated. It's far from it.
I agree.
This is going to shape up to. Well, I see a tweet from Gareth in it. Big up Gareth, man. Gareth said that with this show coming in, Collision coming in, and obviously there's Dynamite. This is going to have a big effect on the fans. We're going to get a civil war between AEW fans. So the AEW fans are going to be disagreeing every single week on certain things, and that's good conversation. We need more stuff like this. And I've been saying for a time, we need a brand split. With that also being that said, are they going to have a title on their show? Or is there any reports of that?
I don't expect them to have their own world championship. Obviously, the talk of a brand split is still not even certified yet. It's not even confirmed. But me personally, I want a hard brand split as well. I want to know that these men are Dynamite and these men are Collision. I would prefer that. I like brand splits, and I know I've already known brand splits from WWE, and WWE have often cocked up brand splits. But I believe if Tony Khan, the way he books, if Tony Khan does a brand split, it would be brilliant.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
So wait,
you have one traveling champion between the two shows. That show Collision is going to be on TNT, so just maybe make the TNT belt go over there and be like the main title over there. Make the international chat the title, like the main title on Dynamite, and then the world champion just goes between both shows and takes people on, willy-nilly like.
So wait, is Rampage not another brand?
No, Rampage is a showcase of just obviously the stories can go in and out of that. But
it's a good question, to be honest, as to what Rampage is now.
I thought they were going to be 3 brands: Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision.
I think Rampage, has lost. It's lost its way a long time ago, but it's now lost its importance to fans. I'm not sure how many man watch Rampage, to be honest.
Not anymore, man. I just I haven't really watched Rampage time. It's a showcase show, man.
Yeah. It's inconsequential. If you don't watch Rampage, you don't miss nothing.
You're not missing anything.
So
I hear it.
Actually, I watched Rampage the time when I think Jay White had a match with Sean Spears.
It wasn't Jay White, was it? It was Sean Spears versus when Sean
someone
Spears returned like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I watched that, and that's the last time I watched Rampage. I haven't watched Rampage since.
So Rampage is gonna fall down the pecking order even more so now that Collision seems to be the next thing, and they're gonna put CM Punk permanently on Collision or whatever the case is. Then Rampage is pretty much just a showcase, as man are saying. But no, it's interesting times, man. They've done well, and then of course, the sales of Wembley just keep going up and up and up.
Yeah.
So they've done a really good job. They've done a really good job.
Yeah. Ask a few questions on the thing.
Yeah, we've got some questions. You guys put in some questions into the chat. Big up everyone that's watching live. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new here. But I see a lot of members in the building. Big up the members and join the membership if you haven't. It's back up and it's live. You get the early stuff, early content. You get the exclusive Things podcast, which is everything under the world apart from wrestling. So that's quite fun. NK says here, should CM Punk dethrone MJF?
No.
You know what? I'm here for chaos.
Okay.
I can't lie. I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't want it to happen. But if they came out and done that sort of thing, because obviously they've got history. Them two got history. They had one of the greatest stories told last year in what they did. If CM Punk came back and got a world title shot, beat MJF, his record with the championship has been tragic. But
Yeah.
I'm here for chaos.
I'm here for chaos, but I don't like that kind of chaos. That story of MJF is finished. CM Punk can win the world title, but not from MJF.
Technically, the MJF was meant to win the title from CM Punk, right? That's how it originally was meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I think
I wouldn't mind that.
I think Gabe here was answering NK's question.
Yo,
He says, "You know what, NK? I don't want to hear it, but I hear it." That's exactly where I am. I wouldn't want to see it, but I hear it. I definitely hear it. West Coast Popcast says here, with a new 2-hour show, do you think we'll get AEW women's tag team titles?
That's a shout.
It's a shout, but do they have enough women?
No, they don't have enough women tag teams. It'll just be like a WWE thing. I can't lie, but they're just forming tag teams out of the blue.
Yeah. Until there's gang wars within that division, then I don't think they need a title yet.
Well, there's gang wars right now, innit? They got little Outcasts versus
Britt Baker and
Originals.
Yeah, Originals. Yeah,
That's just one. There needs to be multiple across.
Man said multiple.
It needs to be London
Multiple.
in 6, bro.
multiple.
Knowledge says too much talk about brands. Collision is just another 2 hours of TV with CM Punk as the top star. Punk will work Dynamite when needed, and the Elite will work Collision on Saturday. I mean, it depends how they I guess we'll know next week, innit? How they
Find out next week, yeah.
frame this, and if it's gonna be two brands in terms of, literally they're gonna brand it differently or whatever the case is, or if it's gonna just be two different shows. I guess the brand split is, if there is gonna be one, will determine how we perceive both shows.
Yeah.
Mark says AEW can't book a women's world title properly. Let's leave tag titles for a minute.
I hear that.
That's true. NK says, no women's tag titles. Their division needs cleaning. I don't even think they have enough women. Like it's not even like the world title women division and then like the TBS title women divisions are like defined divisions. So yeah, I don't know what they could really do, but yeah, I think all will probably be revealed next week when we know a bit more about what we're gonna get with this TV show and stuff.
Yeah,
man. I think that's everything.
Cool. Quick, a few announcements, guys. Check our link, check our description. There's a link to our WWE affiliate shop. Go purchase some merch. Check out the new title if you want to get a title. Any titles you want to get, just follow the link in our bio. Grab something, man. Also, we're running the competition pretty soon, so guys, watch out for that as well. 6th of June, Hustle are back at Color Factory, Hackney Wick Wrestling. Last, 3 days ago, sorry, Tuesday. Epic show, amazing show. We had Tate Mayfairs and Rain Leverkusen headlining, main eventing the show. Great match. Can't wait for you guys to see that on YouTube when it gets dropped on YouTube. Also, they're gonna run it back in a no holds bars match. So guys, go get the tickets. Tickets should be in Hustle Wrestling description in their bio. That doesn't make sense. I said description in their bio. In their bio on Instagram. We'll also post up in our bio as well. So guys, go ahead over there and go get some tickets. We'll put in the description as well. I forgot to mention something as well. Rev Pro announced Will Ospreay versus Shingo.
Jeez.
That's gonna be great. I'm literally I can see the copper box from where I am. The copper box is literally over there. Like I can actually see it. So yeah, we're heading for something sick here, man.
That weekend is gonna be a mazzoline, bro.
Epic.
Pickaxe. Yeah, man.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So it's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. So looking forward to more stuff. And also, just to put out there, guys, Wrestling Just the People is a bi-weekly show. I know we didn't drop this week, so we're getting it next week. Let us know where you want us to go next. And yeah, that's with my announcements.
One of you people said we should go to Croydon.
I'm on it.
I don't know if we need a visa to go to that
We
place.
need a visa. We need to go through TSA in that country, bro. That's a whole different country. So yeah,
We'll see. Yeah, man. Let's
Croydon.
up.
What did you say?
I said wrap it up.
Bro, so wrap it up. Cool. Let's do it. Sorry, man. Let's wrap it up. Yo, it's been a Nafi.
Mex,
Laps.
Laps, do the honors.
You're listening to the coolest wrestling's podcast.
Wrestling podcast.
The coolest podcast. I'm butchering this already, fam. Nafi,
Yeah.
take it away.
You're listening to the coolest wrestling podcast in the world. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your family, tell your postman, tell your dog, tell the boss man. By the Mandem.
For the Mandem.
Peace.
Yeah, guys.
No bow.